Starting time 13:13:30. I once again have the civilian bus from Oasis at the Badlands Safe House, and I will once again try to get it all the way to the transport mission at the far end of Mount Vogel and see what time I get. In all reality, the time is probably going to be way longer than it should be, because I'm being incredibly slow, playing this incredibly safe. I have attempted this an innumerable amount of times. Oh wait, I didn't set the waypoint. I did, of course, get it to Mount Vogel without it taking any damage. And again, this one was from Oasis, not EOS. The unfortunate thing about this is I have to manually drive this all the way to the Badlands Safe House, because it being a Marauder safe house rather than a Red Faction safe house, when I teleport there using the fast travel upgrade thing you can get, my vehicle doesn't come with me. Unlike other safe houses where if you fast travel, the last vehicle you were in is also taken there and repaired to full health, I guess you could call it. If you weren't... Whoa. If you haven't been in a vehicle since you loaded that save file, I'm not certain what happens. Maybe it just picks a random civilian vehicle that is actually native to the region in which that safe house is. So like if it's in Parker, you can't get anything exclusive to like Dust or something like that. I don't know. Alright, thus far I've escaped the irradiated zone and still taken absolutely no damage. I am still in the sort of Badlands of Badlands, where there's no other vehicles driving around. I think I've gotten so used to this rocky terrain that it's actually easier than where there's actual road, because where there's actual road, there's other cars for me to crash into, and that is just terrible. Luckily, oh no. Okay. Very minor damage, I think. And none of the glass is even broken. Maybe that was no damage. Maybe it just brought up the health bar because there was an impact. Anyway. What was I gonna say? Alright, in this save file, the, bridge in Dust that caused me trouble on occasion. And by on occasion, I mean every single time I had to cross the area in which it would occupy. In this save file, it is there. It causes me trouble when it isn't there. Just look how minor of a hill this is, and the bus is having trouble getting up it. Why? Public transport in this game is absolutely despicable. In the immortal words of Daffy Duck, it's despicable. Why is there always a truck turning around somewhere on my path? It's one of those big trucks that can sort of just mow through anything in the game, except for maybe large metal objects, which although technically this bus is, it doesn't feel like it is. It feels like it is a small, fragile plastic object. Like some sort of really cheap wind-up car. Except you're somehow able to steer it, maybe with the force. Here's the bridge I was talking about. As you can see in this save file, it is in fact not broken, so I in fact do not have to go around it. And there's no path that takes me around it, and instead I have to sort of drive into that little chasm that it's over, and drive back out the other side, and it's really terrible. I hate that they don't make bridges respawn. I think that one big memorial bridge might respawn, but it also might be because I never fully destroyed it. I only destroyed enough of it to count as destroyed. So maybe since it wasn't completely destroyed, it came back. Yeah, there are a bunch of things in this game that I really wish respawned. I made it all the way to the Free Fire Zone without taking any damage. I am making excellent pace. Well, I don't think I'm moving particularly fast. If I were, it probably would have exploded back at Badlands. Probably wouldn't have escaped the irradiated zone. But still, I'm making good health. The vehicle it's completely intact still. Alright, here's where they start shooting at me, and there's an incredibly steep hill on the other side. Hang on, they weren't shooting at me until I hit that guy. Huh, normally they start shooting at me regardless. Well, here's the incredibly steep hill I was talking about. Oh no. Please don't shoot at me. Alright. Okay. Going to leave it there, since it's only counting the time I'm in the vehicle. So long as I'm not in the vehicle when I'm dealing with these ne'er-do-wells, it won't be added to the time. So I'll still have a more or less accurate time. I just need to get my alert level back down to green. Is that all of them? I really hope so. Well, yeah, it added to the morale. I don't see any more. The alert level's still yellow, but no, come on, no, oh, come on. It's fine. Oh no, I see more enemies. God damn it. Why are you rolling? That's just less time that you're able to be shooting at me. It's not like I was driving at you, I was running at you. Even if I was, I don't think this thing could particularly run anybody over. You'd have to be standing still for this thing to run you over. Like, perfectly still. You have to be some sort of human statue to be able to be run over by this. Or just not move out of the way at all. Oh, come on. It's one person, he's shooting ordinary bullets at up here. I'm just gonna hope I can outrun him. I'm never gonna make it over this hill if I keep getting out to take care of all the individual enemies that approach me. God damn it. I feel that the developers knew what they were doing when they put this steep hill right after an EDF checkpoint. I feel they wanted this one particular area to be my personal home. And it is, if that was the intention, they succeeded with flying colors. It is absolutely insufferable. Alright, half health, and continuing on my journey. I don't think there's any other spot where the EDF have to shoot at me. I think if I'm oh, no, there is EOS. Right, the very end of EOS, all the EDF there shoot at me. I think that's a spot where I'm just gonna need to be quick. Like, I'm gonna have to not take my finger off the R2 button. Alright, so here's the spot where I leave the Free Fire Zone and go to EOS. The extended V on leave was because I was scared that it would crash at the bottom of that hill. It was going way too fast. And the extended of was because I forgot the name of EOS. For a second. Anyway, here we are in EOS. I like how all of the terrain in the entire game is the same. It's just put through, not the terrain, but rather the killers. They're just put through a different filter, depending on the area you're in. Oh no. That was a tiny bit of damage. Still, I would say it's significantly a fair bit more, I mean less than half. At a significantly less, at a bit significantly less than half health. That's the sentence that I was attempting to say. Whoa. Oh no. I am not certain this thing can survive the end of EOS when I'm going to Mount Vogel. I can just hope, because I've already made it to EOS. Now, I still actually haven't completed that transport mission that is my end goal. It's not my end goal to actually do it, but rather it's my end goal to get to it. In this thing. This cursed bus. Oh, hey, there's another bus. I'm helping my odds. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Same time, but halfway through, oh, this is a bit more than halfway through. But just all of a sudden, back to full health. How about that? Oh, magic. Didn't steal any vehicle? What are you talking about? It's not cheating. The challenge is to see how long it would take it to get there, not to see if one single one can get there. Either way, I believe the answer is no. Whoa. Oh my god. I actually avoided that car. And then immediately crashed into rock, but still, it's only 2 pieces of glass broken. And then I've fallen down that hill. This is how terrible a bus is. I can't get back up this tiny hill. This thing is abominable. How anybody manages to drive these things anywhere around Tarsus. That's the name of this part of Mars that the game takes place in. But how anybody manages to drive these things around any part of Tarsus is just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. And I denounce them to hell for cursing the land with this plague that is known as a civilian bus. Hang on, the camera's moved quite a bit. I don't think it times in pause menus. I hope it doesn't. Even then, it's setting off the timer very little. I've offset it much more with my getting caught on hills, drifting backwards on them, and my switching vehicle. They're the same type of vehicle. It's no different, it's just at a higher health, and the health doesn't affect the speed. I don't think. Even if it does, my test is supposed to be with the vehicles at full health, rather than a little bit less than half health. Even then, I think this one's gonna end up at the same health after it gets through the end of EOS. Because the end of EOS is a fair bit of shooting. There's one big turret. I've never found any problems with it going to Mount Vogel, but rather I found quite a bit of problems with it leaving Mount Vogel. So, luckily I don't have to leave Mount Vogel, I have to go to Mount Vogel. Oh, I'm just remembering the explosives. I've made it all the way to the end of Mount Vogel before, and the explosives, that one random building that exploded me, I have... Okay, here's where they start shooting at me. Alright, here's where I'm not going to be careful, because being careful is going to take more health than it's going to give. Well, it's never going to give any health, it never had, but I mean, it's going to take more health than it's going to prevent the loss of. Hang on, nobody's shooting at me past that little beginning bit. That's abnormal. Oh no. Oh no, there's the turret I was talking about. Alright, it hit right next to me, which did a fair bit of damage. I'm in Mount Vogel, home stretch, no enemies here. Except that one explosive. It's not an enemy, but it's an explosive. It's at a building, it's towards the end, and I cannot let it disintevaporate my vehicle. The disintevaporate-inator. I think that's the thing that Doofenshmirtz made. I'm not certain. I might have made up the word disintevaporate. Remember, there's a villain from Johnny Quest that made the refrigerator-inator. Oh, come on. This is a really steep hill. It's still moving forwards. And I know I have gotten up this before. I did in the previous video. So... just terribly slow. Yeah, it's making good progress. The whole thing's next to the little guardrail there. Almost. And... up the hill, finally. Yeah, I got Red Faction Armageddon. That game's cool because it has a rebuild feature. You're able to just spray magical light on things and it rebuilds them. Not actually magic, it's using the Nano Forge from this game, but still. This was where I exploded. I see it now. There is an explosive here. I'm not even gonna sledgehammer it. That might... even at this range, I'm terribly scared it may damage the vehicle somehow. That's quite far away. Okay. Well, I even accidentally launched it in the air before I exploded. There are any more explosives. Anything that could... Oh, fuck! There are explosives. Yes, indeed. Hang on, I'm getting this thing. Way. First. Alright, absolutely no explosives. Nothing could possibly go wrong like last time. Well, there's this, which can't explode, but I've only had that explode when I sledgehammered it. I think it's gonna be fine. I dearly hope it's going to be fine. Alright now. Oh no, is that helicopter gonna start shooting at me? I hope it doesn't. I'm not 100% certain that was the... Well, the helicopter just exploded. Anyway, I'm not 100% certain that was the building, so I'm going to continue being immeasurably careful. Even that little bit of sand there. I don't know if that's what exploded me. Anything could have been what exploded me. I didn't see it last time. I did it. Yes. I've finally done it. Alright, end time is 13:30:14. I mean 40. So 13:30:40 minus 13:13 30. 40 minus 30, so that's it took something minutes and 10 seconds. 30 minus 13 is 17. Right? Yeah, 17. It took 17 minutes and 10 seconds. 17 minutes and 10 seconds. That's the end result. All this for a number. 17 minutes and 10 seconds. That is... That's just an unreasonable amount of effort. This has been 21 minutes recording. I'm not certain that's accurate, since 21 minutes recording. I'm not certain. I might have spent 4 entire minutes out of the vehicle and in the pause menu. Anyway, that's the first vehicle. 17 minutes and 10 seconds. That's the end result. I was extremely excited when I got it there. And then I remembered, yay, that gives me a number. Great. And I have all the other vehicles in the game. And none of them could possibly be as bad as the civilian bus. Goodbye. That's this video. It was terrible.